Today's keynote speaker is James May. James was born and raised in Southern California, went through 12 years of Catholic school, and graduated high school in 1965. He worked 2 years as a Mason prior to going into the Marines in 1967. He served in Vietnam in 68 and 69 and was discharged on April 1st, 1969. After taking 6 weeks off, he went to work for Southern California Edison until 1974. And he has been an entrepreneur since 1974, owning 9 businesses, including retail stores, funding companies, 2 construction companies, and a hypnosis practice. Currently, so be careful. Currently, he is the owner of Marketing Velocity, a marketing and coaching company. He has been called a business mentalist by many of his clients as a result of his legendary observation skills. These abilities have enabled him to extract crystal clear solutions to people's problems and situations within the first few minutes of interaction. James just completed the book, For Those We Left Behind, and is currently involved with the Foundation for the Families of Those We Left Behind. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. James May.
When I look at you guys, there's so many of you that have been through so much more than I ever was. When they asked me to come here and speak, it was because a gal from Huntington High School asked. I go there every year to talk to the juniors about my war experiences in Vietnam, and she recommended that I come here. I don't know where she is. There she is right there. Raise your hand. Kaylee. Thank you, Kaylee. They asked me to tell you a little bit about before the war, during the war, and after the war. I said I would do that. I'm going to keep my word. But when I'm done with that, I have some things pressing on my soul that are a lot more important that I want to talk to you about today. I went in the Marines in '67. I was in the 1st Marines. I did 5 operations, and I volunteered for a group called CAG. Those of you who are there. There was a small group of us that lived in the jungles. I was in the jungle for over 11 months. Had dysentery for all that time. Ate mostly what we could get. And about once a month we'd get C rations. We were supposed to be a squad. The most we ever had was 9. And we felt like an army when we had that many. We had been down to 3. We got overran once and only 3 of us made it. We happened to be in the tower. And like most guys that survive, it has nothing to do with me. It's just about luck. So when I came home, let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered, really wondered why we had 2 hands? Why God gave us 2 hands? I'll tell you why I think so. If you can imagine, closer to the mic, there we go. You can imagine being in a rice paddy, soaking wet, haven't eaten in a day and a half because you've been in a 4-day battle and your body is shaken from the cold. You're wounded, you're bleeding, you've got leeches sucking your blood out of every part of your territory that they can, and you feel like giving up. I believe that this is what my right hand is for. I was raised Catholic, but I don't believe in organized religion. I believe I have a spiritual life. Whatever works for anybody else is fine. But I do believe in God. And when I talk to God, I call him Father. When I was in that rice paddy, I reached my hand up, which I didn't reach it like this because I didn't want to get it shut off, but I reached up and I said, Father, give me the strength, give me the gumption to stay in the fight. And he did. And I survived, or I wouldn't be here, obviously. Then we have our left hand. Right now what we have is we have some vets coming home. And I've listened to these vets, and I've listened to them, and one of the things they tell me is they say, you've trained us to go to war. Where's the training for us to come home? And I've created that in a book called For Those We Left Behind. Today, I have some things for the vets. Right here is a friend of mine who will give an interview. He works for Volvo. He's the second in charge. He will give an interview to any vet there, and they have priority on the job as long as they qualify. Where's Pete? Where's my friend Pete? Pete Brady right here has put a program together that's the only one in the nation where he will take vets out. They can pick out a house that they want. He will buy it for them cash, renovate it, and sell them on the GI Bill with no money down and no closing costs. So any of you, let me tell you what else he's agreed to do. You know how you have these banners in, like here, Huntington Beach and some of the other cities, and some of the times you guys, the BFWs, don't have the money to finance those for the vets coming home. We're going to take care of that for you. He's going to take care of it. We're also going to give to all the BFWs in Southern California copies of my books, so that any time they have a vet come in or go and talk to a vet, they get a free book. He's going to finance that also. So this is the beginning, just the scratching of the surface of what we have planned. So I believe this. I believe that we, the people, regardless of who's in office, have power to do whatever we want to do and create whatever we want to do. I want some of you that are to come aboard on me if you believe in the vision that I have. I believe this left hand of mine reaches down and grabs our brothers, because we're losing 50 to 60 of them a month to suicide. We reach down and pick them up and give them direction. The biggest part of the rest of my life will be doing that. One of the things that most of you, they should be passing them out now. You're going to get a little stone in a few minutes. This is what I call a gratitude stone. This is how you work it. Hold on just a second. Jackie, could you bring me those pictures that I had there, please? I forgot to bring some pictures. I wanted to. This is a gratitude stone. Every morning I wake up, I pick up this gratitude stone, and the first people that I remember is my beautiful wife, Jackie. And I rub this stone and I remember that I'm grateful for her and for our 3 girls. And then I remember Tommy Folden, Alabama, Mike Hurst, and the list goes on. I'm not going to tell you all of them, of the guys that I put in body bags and the guys that I served with that didn't make it home. And the way I used them is that when I came home, I almost went into prison for life for a bar fight. I put 2 guys over a $300 pool game. They came at me and I put both of them in a coma for 2 months. And the bartender is the one that saved my butt. She had 30 people sign it. She wrote a letter and had 30 people sign it. It was self-defense because they attacked me. From that experience, I decided that the problem wasn't the world, the problem was me. So I made some changes, and I tell the stories that I have of what I had to do to make those changes in my book. In my introduction, they said I had a hypnotherapy practice, and that's true. I had it for 10 years. Affiliated Counselors in Downey. It's still there. I helped hundreds of vets during that time. And part of what I used with them was this gratitude stone, and I told them how to use the guys that we left behind. They're the strongest motivation any of us have, because we got a second chance and they did not. And it would be a dishonor to their service if I committed suicide. I have walked that thin line of decision of whether to just end it all, to get rid of the pain inside, or to do something about it. Obviously, I chose to do something about it. And that's what I want to bring, and that's what I want to offer to our vets coming home now. Not just today, not just this year. What I'm going to create is something nationwide so that every vet that comes home, like the fine vet over there, the gentleman right over there, when he comes home, he can have businesses. I have almost 30 right now signed up. I have this one for anybody here today that wants to offer a job. They can offer a job. We're going to have them for a home. We're not going to help them hook up with women. Now, they got to do that on their own. I've got a Facebook right now, a page up right now. It's called For Those We Left Behind. I want two things from anybody here that wants to participate. If any vet that's just come home has anything that they need, I have 5 guys right now committed to me. Next week we're going to videotape. They have interviewed people 35, 40 years like I have. I've had several hundred people work for me over the years. And we're going to put in there, we're going to tell them what they need to do and help them prepare for a job interview. It's just touchy. It's going to go across the nation. We're going to build a thing before I'm through to where vets have a 6-week program that they can go in and that they can get everything they need to start the kind of life they want. I'm not looking for government help. I think we the people can do it ourselves if we make our mind to. My mind's made up. The only way they'll get me to stop is if they kill me. And all the people behind me and all the people supporting me will continue on for if something were to happen to me. So, they wanted me to tell you a little bit about my Vietnam experience. I told you that. My experience is coming home. I had a very rough time coming home. Took me almost 2 years before I realized that it wasn't me, it was them. So when I see a vet coming home, here's what I see. I see a body trained to hand out death. I see eyes that are yearning for love, for life, and most of all for acceptance. I know all of you accept him here. I know the nation now. We go, thank you for your service. It's very nice. It's more than what I ever got or my generation got. My generation so far has lost 625,000 troops to self-slaughter. I want to stop that. I want your help. I want any of you that have experiences of how you adjusted coming home, either come see me today or go to my Facebook and put on what techniques you use or anything, any comments that you would have that would help the vets now. That's what I'd like you to do. Any of you that want to get involved with us, you can do that. Any of you want the book, we're available for that too. I'm not here to sell books. I'm here to do this. I'm here to ask you to reach down with that left hand, pull these vets back home, and get them the life they need. Thank you very much.
There's the hero, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I make one more comment? One last thing I almost forgot. There's a set of, they're not actually veterans because they weren't in the war, but they were affected by it. And it's what I call at-home collateral damage. Here's a picture of one of them right here. This is a baby on his father's fatigue, a picture of him. There's a woman there that lost this, that's going to raise this baby that never saw his father. Now, we're starting a foundation to help those families, and it's called For the Families of Those Who Left Behind. Take a look at this picture. Take a look at the eyes in that little boy. Do you think he's scared that he may never see his daddy again? Let's don't forget them. Thank you very much.